Hi, my name is Shadrina Chaerunissa. In this video, I would like to talk about my research with Linda Sunarti titled Aksi Cepat Tanggap in Reconstruction and Rehabilitation Post-Merapi Eruption in 2010. Being located on the Pacific Ring of Fire, Indonesia has to cope with constant risk of earthquakes, volcanic eruptions, and tsunamis. One of the biggest volcanic eruptions in Indonesia is the eruption of Mount Merapi on 2010, which is located in the province of Special Region of Yogyakarta and Central Java. The eruption of Mount Merapi in 2010 resulted in losses with the greatest damage to the agricultural and residential sectors. This led to reconstruction and rehabilitation efforts that were carried out by various groups, both the government and the community. One of the NGO involved was Aksi Cepat Tanggap. Based on the previous mention, it has grown interest for me to examine how is the role of Aksi Cepat Tanggap in reconstruction and rehabilitation efforts after the 2010 Merapi eruption, which leads to another questions such as what is the role of Aksi Cepat Tanggap in reconstruction and rehabilitation effort after the 2010 eruption of Mount Merapi? How is the history of the formation of Aksi Cepat Tanggap? How is natural disaster management in Indonesia? How is Aksi Cepat Tanggap involvement in reconstruction and rehabilitation efforts after the 2010 Merapi eruption? And what's the impact of it? The method used in this research is the historical method, which consists of 4 stages, namely heuristic, sources, criticism, interpretation, and historiography. Sources used in this research are interviews with Dompet Duafa and a volunteer from Aksi Cepat Tanggap that involved in the efforts. Archives from Aksi Cepat Tanggap and also Indonesian newspapers such as Republika, Kompas, and Tempo. The formation of Aksi Cepat Tanggap is inseparable from the history of the founding of Dompet Duafa Republika, 1993 to 1994, which was led by senior journalists from Republika, namely Parni Hadi, Sinansari Ecip, Makmur Maka, Zaim Ufrawi, and Haidar Bagir. Since the beginning, Aksi Cepat Tanggap has been such a program that focused on disaster management and was designed as an institutional program. Aksi Cepat Tanggap started its first handling action in Liwa, West Lampung in 1994. In 2005, Aksi Cepat Tanggap was officially established as a social-humanitarian institution. Leadership was handed over to Ahyudin. As an organization, Aksi Cepat Tanggap has vision and mission, activity, strategy to fund their programs, and also structure. Their vision is to become a professional global humanitarian organization based on generosity and volunteerism of the global community to create a better civilization. Their vision is then outlined in 3 mission points. The development of Aksi Cepat Tanggap activities started from disaster management activities, then spread to the realm of spiritual services. Their programs deal with social humanitarian issues. Their organizational structure consists of several directors who are members of the board of directors. The board of directors consists of the president director and vice president director who oversee the departments as department heads. Funding sources for Aksi Cepat Tanggap are collected through fundraising using print media and digital media. As an reconstruction and rehabilitation efforts, Aksi Cepat Tanggap initiated a program called Integrated Recovery Program. It is a recovery program for physical, economic, social, mental, spiritual, and post-emergency relief assistance. These programs then comes in form Integrated Community Shelter Hargo Binangun, Sleman, which is a temporary shelter. In this community shelter, they also provide assistance in recovery activities such as economy, social and mental, spiritual. The impact of Aksi Cepat Tanggap involvement. The construction of an integrated community shelter by Aksi Cepat Tanggap in Gondang Legi, Hargobinangun village in 2010 resulted in a building complex that became the resilience of disaster-prone areas against the eruption of Merapi. In 2018, Integrated Community Shelter Hargobinangun changed its name to Indonesian Volunteer Academy or Akademi Relawan Indonesia, becoming a training site for disaster preparedness. So, we can conclude that the history of the formation of Aksi Cepat Tanggap cannot be separated from the establishment of Dompet Duafa Republika. Aksi Cepat Tanggap involvement in reconstruction and rehabilitation efforts following the 2010 Mount Merapi eruption comes in form of the construction of the Integrated Community Shelter Hargobinangun, temporary housing complex in Sleman and assistance to the residents. Aksi Cepat Tanggap's involvement in the reconstruction and rehabilitation efforts after the 2010 eruption of Merapi has had a sustainable impact on the communities of the disaster area in Sleman, Yogyakarta, with the existence of Integrated Community Shelter Hargobinangun as a place of refuge for emergencies and also as a training center for volunteers throughout Indonesia. Thank you for watching this video.